Hello, hello. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you're well. Doing all those riffs, all those low riffs, extra low riffs. I've been noticing in the Baritone Obsessed Facebook group and other places, people are really crushing the super low riffs. A lot of double drop C and stuff like that. Stuff lower than E1 or lower than E1. Wild. Very heavy stuff. Anyhow, I hope you had a great week and you got up to a bunch of creativity with your baritone guitars. We're going to be talking about some new baritone guitars, some older baritone guitars, I think mostly new ones today, and various things surrounding the baritone topic. If you're new to the baritone news, or the Bari news as we call it, we talk about baritone stuff, new guitars, like new models, new builders, places where baritone stuff shows up in the news cycle, the more popular news cycle, all that kind of stuff. So, do we have our sound up? Yeah, we got our sound up. A few handsome fellas, or good-looking folks, we'll say. You know, non-denominational here. We got Torquebo, Gary Heibner, Mr. Majestic PBJ, Cat. Ike, always good to see you. Hope you guys are having a rad day. And thanks for hanging out. We're going to have fun today. Gary, thanks to Gary for a little bit of insight. We're going to be talking about some offerings that Gary shared in the last episode. But before we do all of that, we got to go back to our camera here. We got to say thank you to everybody with us at the old Patreon and the YouTube memberships. And without these people, nothing here can happen. If you're new to the channel and all that kind of stuff, you can get involved here. The old Bunn Links. I always knock those in there. Let's paste them into the Chatteroony, the Chattacoochee. But you can find all Bunn things via that little link thing if you're interested in getting involved. But a few items of note in terms of getting involved is we got a brand new Sick Tone t-shirt here. This is a pretty fun one. It's it's for those of you who love fuzz. I've taken to really loving fuzz this past year and a half. And thanks to my pal Artie Voshko, he kind of got me into it. And I didn't think it was something that I would ever love. But anyhow, there's a new Bunn t-shirt, fuzz worship t-shirt, if you will. And in addition to that beautiful thing, we've added to the whole Bunnsonics sludge tones and sludge resources. And that is, if you go to the bottom here, folks have been asking, hey Bunn, I want just the bass tones. Well, easy enough. We got all of the Bunn bass tones all in one bass pack, plus a little pre-release foreigns bass tone. Because I've been working on some foreign stuff. I'm like, we'll put the latest foreigns bass tone in the HELIX bass pack. So yeah, there's a foreigns HELIX pack coming. And so a little pre-release on the bass pack. And if you're into all of these low tones that the Bunn uses, and you want them for yourself, as well as all Bunn drum stuff, all the drum stuff that I've done so far, I did this ultimate bundle. So it's everything I've released yet this year in terms of resources and whatnot. So it's all in one bundle. And we got this sort of, name your price type of thing. But sometimes people want to support more than the asking price, but the asking price for this is $15, and it's typically $5 per pack. So you save a little bucks, you know, a cool $5 if you're short on the cash, but you really want the packs. You get everything that I've released, including that Foreign's bass tone is included in that ultimate bundle. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Enough of that Bunn stuff. And we're gonna get into the news. Just gonna check in with the comments here. Who else? Any other new folks with us? No new comments as of yet in terms of new folks with us. All the madness that is, whatchamacallit. Gary says the fuzz shirt is awesome. Super low. Torquebo says yes. All the classic Bunnisms. And Yurgol says it's a bundle. How did I not think of that? Oh, amazing. Anyway, we're going to get into it here today. Going to get along with the business. And the very first thing that we typically, well, that we've been doing lately is we've been launching with a popular comment that shows up on the Bunn channel. A comment that is sort of like an FAQ thing, stuff that shows up frequently. And that is point 1, I believe. Yes. And we're going to make this really big because I can't actually see that at all. There we go. Vladislav says, hi there, please help. I am still confused. I don't like 7 and 8 string guitars, but was wondering to buy the Chapman ML1 Modern Baritone Abyss with the 28-inch scale and tune it to drop E with 13 to 72 strings and change the stock bridge to, oh, wait a minute here. Oh yeah, okay, good. Change the stock bridge to a pickup to a Lundgren M6. Who owns this guitar? Please help with your opinion. And does it handle drop E or even lower tunings? Okay, so let's move this back here. Bam. We got a bunch of answers here. The very first thing is, it's very popular for folks to want to tune crazy low these days. As we were talking about in the opening, this lower than E1, so D1, drop C1, and even drop, or it doesn't have to be drop, but like, you know, B0 and lower. It's crazy. Very, very low tunings happening with the guitars. And you know, people who are angry old people are like, why don't you play bass? Well, because it's not quite the same thing. Strangely enough. And then, until you do it, and unless you have an interest in it, you're never going to do it. But until you do it, you realize, oh, it's quite a bit of a different thing doing it with a guitar sound and more of a guitar setup. But so using a 28-inch scale to go super, super low. A lot of people do it. Humanity's Last Breath does it. I think they use 20, even 27 sometime. And there are people with like 8 strings and whatnot who are going ridiculously low, and a lot of 8 strings are pretty short. It's rare. There's more 8 strings that are 30 inches in scale now, but there are a lot of 8 strings out there that are really short. So if you're cool with like super heavy strings, if you like that really heavy string sound, really heavy strings have 2 problems. On a short scale, a really heavy string is really dark and lacks sustain. Longer, like as the tuning goes down, you want to increase the scale length and the gauge sort of together, and compensating with just a really heavy string. It can kind of get you some of the way there, but there's a bunch of things about it that suck. And another thing that sucks about it is poor intonation past the 12th or up the board at all. So there's a bunch of problems with it. If you're cool with those problems, then do it. I'm never going to say don't do it. Do it. Take your short guitar and tune it way down and have at it. If you're only playing the first few frets, you'll probably never notice and you probably never care because there are literally thousands of people. I was going to say millions, but I don't know. I don't think there's that many people doing it at all. Maybe thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people doing this sort of thing, and they just don't care. So if you're in that camp, perfect. If you care and you're like, I want it to be really good. I want to play melodically and I want to play up the neck and I want to incorporate the low string up the neck. Well, if you increase the scale length, it works better. So a 30-inch scale, and I'm going to go to a thing here that I shared a couple weeks ago. What one? Top. There we go. I don't know if that's good. Yeah, that's good enough. So what this is here is on my website. It's the scale pitch gauge tension guide. And it kind of walks through a bunch of setups and string, like, guitar setups and string configurations and all that kind of stuff. I'll drop the link into the chat for a variety of different tunings and scale lengths. And something you'll notice is we try to maintain a constant tension, something in that sort of 17-ish pounds of tension. Of course, it varies from set to set. We only have the strings available to us that we have available to us. This is based on Stringjoy strings, but you're going to get very similar results with the Dario strings and anything that is a plain steel core. These are hex core, plain steel hex core with a nickel-plated wound outer, or a nickel-plated wind, round wound. Hex core strings are typically stiffer. If you get into the Ernie Ball slinkies, they're typically a round core. And so a heavier slinky, like a heavier Ernie Ball string, will be less stiff and perform less good at a bigger gauge or a thicker gauge. So that's something to look out for and something to consider and think about. The core, like the materials and the core and all that kind of stuff are going to make a difference in the performance. But this is based on Stringjoy strings. And we go from A1, 3 different varieties of A1, 2 varieties of G1, 1 variety of F sharp 1, and then E1 standard. And if you want to go lower than that, then that's up to you. I personally don't publicize things that don't work very well. Some people are all about just like how ridiculously low can I go? I'm not interested in ridiculous. I'm interested in good. But that being said, something that I promote here a lot is don't let that limit your creativity and your just personal interest in exploration. Very important. I am not going to promote poor performing things. Just not something I'm interested in. And I'm really picky. So if I won't use it, I'm not going to promote it. But like I say, if you're interested in it, do it. So, Vladislav, is that, let's go back to point 1 there. Vladislav. Yeah. So Vladislav and anyone else interested in this kind of a thing, I hope that is helpful. And the link to that index, that string index thing, string tension scale length index is available in the chat there. And you can find it on my website always under Baritone resources. So speaking of the Baritone resources, I'm constantly adding to it, and I just finished another page, and that is let's try top right again. Yeah, we'll do top right or bottom right. bottom left. All of these camera angles are terrible. Anyway, so this is another thing that is recently added to the Baritone resources page. Hopefully it is helpful to people. I'm trying to add resources that are very, very common questions. So what this is a baritone conversion neck index along with a kit index. And it has baritone conversion necks for 25.5 inch scale necks. Generally speaking, you'll see here, it's broken into North America, world, and then the baritone kits, the baritone bass 6 kits are all together. So we got North America, Australia, and North America. PGK is Precision Guitar Company or kits. They have one kit. Yeah, anyway, you can go through it. Did I drop it in there? I think I dropped it in there. Yeah, I dropped it in there. Great. And then something I want to bring attention to is the Dudecraft conversion necks. They are custom made. So you send the body, he'll measure the neck pocket and all that kind of stuff, and he'll build a neck for your guitar. And Massa Guitars is in Argentina, and they will do the same thing. We're going to get more into Massa Guitars in a bit. But for now, we're going to leave it at that. So baritone conversion necks and kits. I hope that is helpful. I will add to it as I learn more. There are some things that are not included in this kit because there are sort of popular problems with the company or the listing or whatever. So if you don't see it on there currently, there's a good chance it's because there's some kind of conflict with that listing. So right now, these are vetted and these seem to be all kind of good to go. Electrical Guitar Company also, they do aluminum stuff. I'm going to go back to that for a second. Electrical Guitar Company, this here, that seems to be hit and miss, like they do batches or something like that. So get in touch beforehand. Otherwise, yeah, that's what's going on there. So going to jump back to the comments for a quick minute, and then we're going to get right into the news. We're going to go through a big chunk, then to the comments, then through a big chunk and comments, and that's it. And shut her down. Nice resource update. Thanks, Ike. Stoked you dig it. I hope it's helpful. It's, you know, there's a lot of questions surrounding these things, and I'm like, I've tried to kind of share the resource in the Baritone Obsessed Facebook group, but it kind of always gets lost in there. So here it's just one page. It's always up. It's easy to find, and it's listed and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully it's cool. Cairo says it's abundant. Cairo, I can always count on you, man. Cairo, what's going on? You're releasing new music seemingly every week. Shredding it up. And Ike is saying they came to us 15 years ago. I think they stayed for, did they return things safe? I'm not too sure what that is. And talk about you need to be hired as the Buns marketing guy. Okay. Amazing. And Jonathan says, I agree with the Bunn statement about going super low with 28-inch scale. I tuned my RGIB 6, probably similar. Yeah, you know, something you can do, but, you know, you're going to get better results out of a 30. So hopefully the Bunn baritone resource thing is kind of like a good kind of chart to figure it all out. But and Jonathan is saying that he did it recently and it felt really unstable. Like awesome fun to do, but yeah, try doing it as a group with 2 guitars at 28, doing the same thing, and yeah, tuning nightmare. Unless it's all noisy, or just open, like a lot of open 1, open 2 type stuff. Then it can kind of work a lot easier. But if you're going to fret the note up the neck, it's really unstable. But whatever, it's all good. We're going to get into the news here, and we're going to jump back to the comments. The very first item, we've covered this quite a bit lately, which is, oh, my thing is, let's go bottom right. How's that? Yeah, that's pretty good. So Discordance Electric Mastiff Metalworks. We've featured this a few times. It's finally up for sale. We've talked about it, various like Facebook and Instagram listings and all of that kind of stuff. Discordance Electric up on the Reverb shop, the Discordance Electric Reverb shop. And let's see what's going on. Pretty nice price, only $1,300 for a 30.3 inch scale guitar. Oh, has it already sold? I listed this today. Predicted to sell soon. Let's take a look. Yeah, it says it's still up. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, 30.3 inches in scale. And the top here is all aluminum, but it is a wood body and wood neck. And yeah, really interesting concept, interesting shape. Obviously not for everybody, but for the people that it is 100% for. Very personally, I'm very interested in the scale length of these guitars. It is officially called the Bridgeburner. I like it. I think maybe the only thing I would like to see if I got into this guitar, I would like to see the bridge pickup mounted just a hair further back, you know, maybe half the distance that the bridge pickup is currently to the bridge. Because with these super long scales, if you're tuning super low, you know, some people are doing this 30 point whatever, like 30 inch scale plus, and they're not going down to E. It's not a bass 6. You can set it up as a bass 6, but some people are configuring these for B or A and using really light strings. Depends how you're going to configure it. In that case, it's going to be pretty bright, but if you're using it in a bass 6 configuration, I would like to see all bass 6s with the neck pickup, or sorry, not the neck pickup, the bridge pickup set much further back, like as close to the bridge as humanly possible. P90s are pretty, you know, they have a pretty great top end. So, you know, it's probably going to be fine, especially for higher tunings. But yeah, something I'd like to see. It's my preferences. Like they can do whatever they want. I think it's cool though. And yeah, great price, $1,300 for a custom made guitar. These are made to order. So very impressive. We're going to move along to the next little piece here, which is Cyan guitars. This comes to us from our pal, Gary Heibner of Heavy Tones YouTube channel. Thank you, Gary, for the input, the heads up on Cyan guitars. Going down here, they have a very interesting offering. Another very, you know, unique body shape and all that kind of stuff. Not really for the Bunn, but definitely I've run across a few people that would probably love this. Wild Styles, 29 inches in scale, which is a wonderful scale length. I do like the fret markers. I like that. It reminds me a little bit of Millimetric. They have a similar kind of line thing going on. But great specs. Let's see here. Is this one? Yeah, this one here is a humbucker. And this one here is a single coil. It looks like if you change the bridge, you can change the pickup. I wonder if that's the truth. I don't know. Interesting stuff. But yeah, thanks to Gary Hibner for sharing this listing. And 29 inches in scale. They are in, I can't remember, about. I did check this out. Is it Germany? Schweigen? No. It looks like German. English? Hamburg. Yeah, seems like German. English, US. It doesn't seem to translate everything. But but whatever. That's cool. Dude is doing some wild stuff, and not sure on prices. Do we get prices? Can we look at some pricing? Doesn't say. I think you got to get a quote. Oh, right here, Hamburg. Yeah, Germany. Always look in the footer. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. I thought it was not on the right camera here. But yeah, I don't know. Anybody know about Cyan guitars? They're pretty wild. I had run across them before and just totally, because it's not really for me, I never thought to include it once I started doing this whole baritone news thing. Oh, what's going on? Is my mouse dead? Connection lost. Oh, there we go. It's because I'm being rough with it. But next on the list is Ceasar guitars, handmade guitars, and a bunch of different options here. Let's see what it says. 28-inch scale. This is a straight fret model, and Ceasar guitars. You know, I might have it backwards. It might be Gary brought Ceasar to our attention, and Cyan guitars is something that I don't even remember. So much happening. Anyway, Gary, I apologize if I got it wrong, but I thank you for bringing, info to us. But very nice looking here. Interesting finish. Tele style dual humbucker guitar with an Evertune bridge. 28 inches in scale, and a couple different options. This is a 27 right here. A couple different baritone options. Great. And these guys are in Austria. And if we take a look at the map here, I already have that prepped. And so yeah, if you're in Europe and you're looking for some more options, obviously made to order and a lot of custom stuff going on. So, gotta wait. Gotta wait for it. But yeah, in Austria. Oh, did I cover that up? Let's change the camera angle here. Bam. There we go. Yeah, they're in Austria. Close to Hungary and a bunch of other places. But we're going to move along here. I was talking about how we're going to cover this earlier. This is Massa Guitars in Argentina. And custom guitar builder, does all kinds of stuff. Really cool looking shape here. Kind of reminds me, doesn't remind me of, but like has a millimetric kind of like new classic kind of shape thing going on. I'm really intrigued by this. I really personally like this. It's weird, but in a way classic. I'd like to know more. These are obviously mock-ups, but yeah, I'm intrigued to know more. But one of the big things about Massa guitars is they do baritone models. I think this is available in a baritone model. Doesn't say here specifically. It's all in Spanish, it looks to be. But he does the guitars for Mostro. Not sure if you are familiar with Mostro. I love Mostro. It is some serious, brutal death metal, like really artistic death metal from Argentina. I can't play it because I'll get a copyright strike. But yeah. He had, let's see here. I wonder, can we go to, let's see if we can go to the YouTube and find, or not YouTube, the Instagram of, so this is an image of his custom, one of his custom made guitars. And he got this done, got a custom neck done for a guitar to go 28.625 inches. He had a 26.5 inch scale neck already made by this luthier, Massa Guitars. And then he had this, a very millimetric inspired neck made for the same guitar. It is, let's see if we can find the guitar that he put that on. This is it. This is the guitar that he had that neck made for. Can't see it very well, unfortunately. But yeah, follow Mostro. And, you know, if you send him a message, he'll probably send you images back because he's that cool of a guy. Lucas is his name, and Mostro Death Metal is his game. And he's currently doing a thing with Lindsay O. This is a split or a collab he did with Mostro Lindsay O collab. And I think they might be doing something more in the future. Can't say, not my business to say, but keep an ear out because it's awesome. But we're going to move along now. And what is this? You're going to be like, Bunn, what the hell is going on with this? This isn't Gibson. No, this is 10S Guitars. And 10S Guitars is like, we recognize the fact that people like these Gibson Buckethead signature Les Pauls. And we recognize the fact that they are selling for as high as $11,500 or $11,100. What does it say here for the highest? $11,173 US is the highest price this here Gibson Buckethead signature Les Paul sold for. 27-inch scale Gibson. Well, 10S Guitars is like, F the noise on that price. We got one for you, and it's only $620 US. And playing a show, you know, in the audience participants will never know the difference. The average audience person. Actually, the average audience person is not even going to know who Buckethead is. So, but yeah, 10S Guitars has he covered for the Buckethead style 27-inch scale guitar. Those in the know already know that the Gibson version of this ships with standard tuning, E2 standard tuning, and Buckethead just has giant fingers and doesn't like to play tiny guitars. That's the whole idea for him. But, you know, it is 27 inches in scale, and if you use slightly heavier strings, you can tune it down to be a, some people go crazier than that. But yeah, so a little bit of news, a little bit of food for thought there. If we go to the home page of the all 10S Guitars, what the heck is this? Let's... Good thing I have the desktop audio muted because that was some not good sounds. Let's rock. Oh my God. I just want to shop for guitars. For those of you not familiar with 10S Guitars, they do all kinds of stuff, all this crazy Gentar stuff. Don't want anything to do with any of that, but they do a bunch of, you know, other baritone Les Paul style guitars. Lots of baritone options here at 10S Guitars, all 27 for as far as I know. And they do the, what do you call it? Chords of Orion baritone, which is also a 27. Anything else in other shapes that are baritone? Baritone 7 string. Do they do a baritone classic? No, they do not. Anyway, they do other baritones. So yeah, 10S Guitars, if you're not familiar, like I assume that everybody knows that they do baritones, but yeah, never assume. Anyway, we're gonna move along here, and we're gonna kind of cover this, and we're gonna hang out in the chat afterwards. But this is the last little bit of the first section, which is there's a poll going on the old community. I don't know. How do you get here? Channel. I don't know how to get the link to this myself. But anyhow, I have a link or a poll up on YouTube on my community feed. I don't know how to share the link for it, but you know, what kind of music do you use your baritone for? I always assume, you know, again, I've assumed for a long time that people do a certain kind of thing. I assumed that people only did gent. Let's refresh this and see what it says. Oh, here we go. And according to this poll on YouTube, we have, oh, let's do this. You don't need to see my subscriptions. But according to the YouTube poll, it is a tie, a neck and neck for post-metal, post-rock, and gent prog. And this is what I want to see here. Sludge. How many people are making sludge? What is sludge? It's so ambiguous. But it seems like, post-metal and post-rock, that's cool. Gent prog, that's what I have always assumed. I don't play gent or prog, but yeah, a lot of people do. But if you play sludge, and if you're into like sludge, doom, stoner, desert rock, post-metal, rock, that's what I want to know about. That's what I'm into. But yeah, seems like there's a lot of people into the post-metal stuff. And let's go over here to the Facebook. What do we got? Whatever. Anyhow, if you don't know about the Facebook group, it's Baritone Obsessed Facebook group. BaritoneObsessed.com gets you there. But you can find it. You got to answer some questions to get in. But I also shared the poll here. And of course, like there are 4 bazillion add-ons. And yeah, all with one vote each. Which is fine. What all I want to know is just what are you using it for? And here, big surprise is metal, death metal. 57 votes, leading the pack. Kind of makes sense. I think probably a lot of people just identify with making metal or death metal. And they don't really care about all the subgenres, which is totally cool. But yeah, second in the lead is post-metal rock. Nice to see. Doom, number 3. Nice to see. And then in third, gent prog. And then it just kind of goes down from there. Yeah, definitely. I personally want to connect with all these sludge folks. And yeah, let me know. But those polls are live right now on the YouTube, on my YouTube community feed, and in the Baritone Obsessed Facebook group. Fill that out because, like, yeah, I want to know what people are doing, and I'm looking to connect with specific people doing specific things, more people doing specific things. No judgment. Like, it doesn't bother me if you're doing something else. But, let's do this here. Bam. Going back to the camera, we're going to go to the comments. Going to hang out in the comment feed here for a moment. So, yeah. What are you doing with your baritone? Go to fill out the feeds. That would be great. Going to grab a few comments here. And Torquebo says, I'm trying the Stringjoy string tension calculator and I feel like this isn't correct. I put your specs in exactly how it has it and it has 72 pounds of tension on the string. Well, you got to change the, whatchamacallit. Let's go there for a moment. Mr. Torquebo. Bam. And Stringjoy. Stringjoy tension calculator. Bam, bam. And let's share that screen. Top right. How's that? Yeah, that's good. So right here, Torquebo, you got to make sure that you change that to your scale length. Very, very important. You can change it here and sometimes it doesn't change it there. You know, but if you change it here, it changes everywhere. So 28-inch scale, let's say. Bam. And then let's go here and we're going to go down to G1. And we're going to go to 70. I know that is a thing, and we should get 18 pounds. Yeah. Bam. And yeah, we want to do that for all of the above. So yeah, very important to change the tension here up in the overall scale length first. And that should help. And if it's not, if for some reason you're doing everything right, and you're like, what is happening? It might be your browser. There might be a browser conflict. You know, I'm on Chrome right now, if that helps. Not saying Chrome is the best or anything like that. It just happens to be what I'm using. Yeah, try that out and let me know if it's gonna work now. Bam. Jonathan Essler, he was talking earlier about using a 28-inch scale RGIB to go down to low E as an experiment, like E1 standard or drop E1, whatever the case may be. And he was not really satisfied with the overall technical results. It was very fun for him to play, but he was not satisfied with the technical results. And is now saying, yeah, I'll definitely be looking into a bass 6 in the future. Yeah, as soon as you play one, you're like, oh, this is dreamy. And I actually feel like bass 6, 30-inch scale, for me personally, I want longer. I want a 32-inch scale bass 6 with the bridge set as far back as possible and the bridge pickup as close to the bridge saddles as humanly possible. That's what I'm looking for. Who wants to build one for me? Please. And Torquebo is saying P90s are his favorite pickup type. Yeah, I really like them. When I did the PRS semi-hollow video, I really enjoyed the tone of that guitar. It was really fun. Noisy, but whatever, like just muscle through the noise. I would like, what is it? DiMarzio does the noiseless P90. There's a lot of people who do a noiseless. It's essentially a stacked humbucker with one coil being much stronger than the other. So the one coil, its job is just to provide the hum canceling, therefore lower noise. Anyhow, I'm going to have a drink of coffee. Who's drinking coffee? It's really late in the day here, 5:41. I'm really, I'm actually getting behind on the news. So Gary Heibner is saying 10S guitars, there are some bad news going on about them. Good to know. Did not know. They're taking your money when you do custom orders, but not delivering. Would like to know more. Maybe I will send them an email and say, hey, would you like to comment on this? Some guys have been waiting over a year and a half, still haven't received their custom guitar. One of the things about that, not saying it's okay, but Gary's saying there's a problem getting your guitars in due time with 10S guitars. The way that 10S guitars does a custom guitar is they take the order, they send the order to their manufacturing plant if they're doing it in Korea, if they're doing it in Indonesia, wherever they're doing it, they send the order along with everybody else's order. So when you place your order, the order doesn't go in. They take a whole bunch of orders and then they send all of those custom orders along with a 10S regular stock order. They send them all in. They make all the guitars and then they ship all the guitars back and then they ship your custom order to you. So knowing this, it takes a long time to get your guitar. And there may be a stipulation in your ordering contract or your order agreement that you should take a deep look at. There may be an estimate in time, but you should look at the conditions of the agreement because you might have glossed over some of the conditional terms because this is the process that they do custom orders. And all companies like them. So it takes a while. It can take a while. Not defending 10S guitars. I do not work for 10S guitars. I do not know 10S guitars. Yeah. So Gary, awesome information. Anyone who's looking to buy from 10S, use your due diligence, do some research, get in touch with the company in advance, all of that kind of stuff. Some people will go through a process and be an impatient buyer and not get what they want, not having looked at the terms and then prematurely share very serious complaints that are unwarranted. This happens as well. Like there are crappy companies. Yes, there are companies that do bad business, but there are also bad customers. So All I'm saying is before, dragging 10S through the dirt, do some research on the matter, because it's a very sensitive matter and it's unfair to just hearsay and then cast someone to hell for it. So yeah, we're going to do that, please. Okay. Gary, watch KHD's YT video. There's some really bad things going on with 10S. They are not getting back to anyone's emails and communication. Right. Yeah. Don't watch the YouTube video of KHD. Go directly to some customers, which KHD might be a customer, but get in touch with a few more customers. Get in touch with Chords of Orion. He might have an inside track to it. Get in touch with the company directly. Sometimes people will not get back to bad customers because they've already got back. And Apoplexy is saying, yo, how are you? Yeah, so Gary, not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying it's a very sensitive matter, and to just throw it out there that they're doing bad business is not fair. And to watch one YouTube video and say that they're doing bad business, that's not fair. Do some significant research before you throw someone in the fire. Jackwagon is saying, what about 2 plain tops for E1? Like 17 and 24 instead of 24. Yeah, so this is Jackwagon is saying for string sets. And what do I got in the string set thing here? Do I still have it open? I do. 30-inch scale, E1, E3, 17P. Yeah, so I have in my little thing here, I'm going to go to that. Bam. So in my little string tension guide thing, I'm going to drop the... oh, come on. I'm going to drop the link to that in again, so you can follow along. This is publicly available, so you can reference it. But at the bottom, you'll have E1 standard 30-inch scale, and you'll see I've opted for a 17-inch plain or a 17-gauge plain string for E1 standard. It's pretty low tension. It's only 15 pounds. You'll notice this for a few things. This is worthy of note. Even though the tension's pretty low, I find the tone is a little bit better. Really heavy plain strings, especially shorter scale, it's a terrible sound. As the scale gets longer, with a heavier plain string, the tone gets a bit better. But yeah, high strings, they sound a little bit better if they're plain, usually, especially the high E or the high, string 1. Definitely worthy of your own experimentations. But you'll notice in my guides, a lot of them, it's lower tension on the high strings. But that's because in my experience, it is a slightly better tone. And there's a crossover point in terms of a plain string and a certain scale length and a certain tuning, like a certain amount of pressure, tension on the string. It performs better or worse given all of those variables. So do your own experimentation, but that's kind of where I'm at with that. And with that said, we're going to finish off the baritone news. What do we got here? Bam, bam. All right. And yeah, we're going to ease back into it with just like a fun little bit. And is the top good? Is that a good thing? Yeah, top thing. Thomann music. It's nice to see companies recognizing the low tuning thing. And they're talking about string gauges and tuning and all these sorts of things for baritones and all of that. What do we get? Is it going to get to page 5? Amplification. Yeah. It doesn't say. But yeah, it's nice to see companies starting to consider talking about, the tuning, the strings, and things to consider. If you're doing a specific low tuning, use a baritone, try and use a baritone guitar, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, nice to see Thomann getting into that. And then another little bit, this is just a fun bit. Found this in the Baritone Obsessed Facebook group. If you're not a member of the group, join the group. But this is a guy from the Grateful Dead, bass player from the Grateful Dead, and he's playing a bass 6. That's a bass 6 right there. It's a 6 high bass. Kind of cool. Play a bunch of melody lines. Definitely very much in the realm of a bass, more so than a guitar. Kind of like an SRC6, early version of an SRC6. Looks to be 34 inches in scale. Maybe it's 32. Not too sure, but it looks like a little bit longer than 30-inch scale. But yeah, I don't know. Is that Alembic? Who made this thing? Anybody know who the maker of this guitar is? Would love to know. Next on the list, this is brand new to me, MPG, Newport Player Guitars. Anybody ever heard of them? They're doing this baritone. It's a Telecaster baritone. It's a very rounded off baritone. I like hard-edged Telecaster shapes. However, even with a hard-edged Telecaster shape, I'll take the arm cut because I've been playing the Gretsch. You can see that right there in the background. I've been playing the Gretsch a lot lately, and it is very sharp on the arm. And I'm a high player, high strapper. So yeah, a little arm, forearm cut. I like that, but I don't like the round edge. But whatever, maybe you love the round edge. You're like, I love it. Give it to me all day. One thing I can tell you about this that they failed to, include in the specs is the scale length. Baritone. I can tell that it's long scale. I'm gonna guess, gauging from the look of it, that it's maybe 27 inches in scale because the bridge is still in the regular position. The bridge is not back, so the length of the neck looks like about 27 inches in scale. Maybe it's 27.5. Not sure. But get in touch. Send them an email. Maybe they'll get back to you. It seems like companies don't often get back, but maybe they will. Hopefully they will. NPG T baritone. No idea how long it is. If anybody knows, please share that data. You can find some YouTube videos about it. And natural flame, but doesn't say anything else. Anyway, price is nice, for a custom-made guitar, $1,500. Totally decent. It's like we live in a weird time where like custom guitars are, in a lot of cases, cheaper than buying a guitar retail. Like the prices to buy a Bia baritone made, like factory made in whatchamacallit, Korea, like the Bia, what is it, the 3 series or whatever? It's like, for me, it's way more than this because I live in Canada. But yeah, interesting. Anyhow, another little feel-good news bit is Mesa Boogie. I don't know if you knew this, but Mesa Boogie has a guitar store. I did not know this, but it's called Mesa Boogie Hollywood, and they have a guitar shop on the Sunset Strip. They sell all kinds of guitars and Mesa Boogie amplifiers. But they did a video specifically about baritones. Nice to see people recognizing baritones. And they're taking a look at the Revolta Mondata baritone. Very sexy baritone. I want a black one. A lot of people want a black one. 28-inch scale Revolta Mondata. People are starting to get them into their hands, and they're like, I love it. I don't know why I love it so much, but I love it so much. But moving along, because we're getting late here, 54. Found this on Instagram find, RVA79 from Richmond, Virginia. Private builder did this, custom-made baritone. Not sure. What is it saying here? 28.5 inches in scale. Jazz Master type of body, kind of an adaptation of a Jazz Master, and a very sharp version of it's kind of like a Yamaha Pacifica type of headstock, but sharper. But yeah, kind of cool looking. I wouldn't mind playing that. Send it over. I'll give it a whirl. I won't keep it, but I'll play it for a day. But moving along, who knows Dead Register? I've known the band Dead Register for a long time. I always thought their sound was cool. They play bass sixes. Did not know this. And they got both this T-type bass six. Cool to see it's like a it's like a Strat, Telestrat, Stratatelli. And he's also got this semi-hollow version, both with the inverted headstocks. They are apparently Frankenstein type of guitars. I don't know what's going on with them at all, but pretty cool. I can only imagine that this is a Warmoth thing going on. Although Warmoth 30-inch scale necks are specific. I don't know, maybe he got them. The thing about Warmoth is you can put in a custom order. Like you can get 100% custom from Warmoth. So maybe that's what they did. Not sure. It doesn't really say. Warmoth guitar neck. So yeah. Okay. He did a full Warmoth custom thing going on. Pretty cool. I don't know the specifics. I don't know how it was done. Anyhow, moving along, we're running out of time here. Paranormal Baritones, we talked about these last week. Talked about the new colors. One thing I did not know, it seems as though the black, I thought the black was no longer being made, but according to the Fender website, however, the Fender website is known to be very wrong because, we can find, let's do a search here, search baritone. And we'll see that they still list the vintage modified Baritone Jazzmaster, which has been out of stock or discontinued for so long. And so don't trust what Fender has to say. They seem to have too much on their mind. But apparently, maybe this is true, the black model is still being made. We don't know for sure. Fingers crossed, because as nice as it is to have some color options for those who like color options, and that mint looks nice, actually. I'm not a fan of the tobacco, but maybe you're a fan of the tobacco. Is it, you call that tobacco? Sunburst? I don't know. The burst. I don't like it. I like the black the most. Yeah, nice to see that the black model is available, but it's 27 inches in scale, so I'll never play one. But yeah, there's a black model still. Apparently, maybe it's wrong. But this is the last serious item on the list, and it is the DropZone 66 RotoSounds. And why I bring it up is, people have a hard time finding strings for their dingwalls, for their 37-inch scale guitars. This image leads me to believe that it fits. And it says here, there's a spec here where it actually says it. Explore the range. Maybe it says it here. I can't remember. I did see it. Yeah, this one. Bam. Come on. It's 4-string set, which is cool. And it says, yeah, right here, long scale, 32 to 34 inches in scale. But what did I find it? Somewhere it says on this whole friggin' website, somewhere, I can't find it now, but it says that it fits scale length up to 37.5 or something like that. But yeah, there's an image here of a guy with a dingwall, and it's the same dingwall I have. So it indicates that maybe it works. I don't know. Who has tried RotoSound DropZone strings for their dingwall? I'd love to know, because these are stainless steel and I use stainless steel Caliums. However, as much as I love Caliums, and I would say that Caliums are the greatest strings I have ever used for bass. I hate ordering from them because I never know if my order came through. The last order was all effed up, and they were like, it was a hassle for them. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, your website is effed up, or it was effed up. I don't know if it's fixed, but I just don't want to order from Calium ever again, even though I love their strings. I do. I love their strings more than anything, but I just don't want to deal with it. So if these work, I'm going to order these, and I'll just order like the highest string. You know, I'll get it from someone else, like D'Addario or whatever. But yeah, who has used the drop zones on a 37-inch? What do you call it? This thing, Dingwall. I'd love to know. But we're going to get back to the chat here, and we're going to sign off because we're done with the news. Anything interesting and new to anyone of you? I just want to, before it's 6 o'clock, I don't just run out of here. But before we do shut it down fully, I want to say thank you to everybody with me at Patreon and YouTube memberships before it's too late. Thank you so much. Without these people, nothing happens around here. And, another big thing is if you'd like to get involved with the Bunn, we got some links. There's all kinds of ways. This link tree will take you to all of the things that we've been talking about here tonight in terms of Bunn websites. And in terms of, like we were talking about, the bass collection of HELIX sounds and the ultimate bundle. I'm going to change that to the Bunn ultimate asset bundle. Which is every asset that I've ever done for, a little bit of a discount. It's only $15. If you were to buy everything out, it'd be like $20. Obviously, you can pay more if you like, because the Bunn always needs help. But that's all that stuff. We're just going to hang out in the chat here for a bit, and then we're going to shut her down in about, 10, 15 minutes. But what are you guys seeing today that you're like, ooh? And Dudecraft Guitars. Yes, Dudecraft Guitars is definitely always, I try to make Dudecraft show up in every episode because I just love what Dudecraft is doing so much. I don't own Dudecraft guitar, not sponsored in any way, just like big fan of the dude himself, as well as what the dude is doing. 13 Flaws in there saying hello. Audio Freak saying what's up. Hello. Hope you are well. Damon Iceman. I hope you're well. You keep showing up every episode. Massa bought by Gibson. Yeah. Ike is saying, who knows what's going to go on there. Gibson hasn't done too well in the last few years in terms of, their public image. A lot of people are like, I'm done with Gibson and their play authentic bull crap and all that. It's nice to see that they've gone back to their standard. Like, they never have to come up with a new model. They never have to innovate. Just do your standard range in different finishes every year, a different collection of finishes every year, and do 4 or 5, kind of bring a few models in and out of the fold, part of the collection. That every year bring in maybe an RD or a baritone SG or whatever, like do that kind of stuff. But you don't need to innovate, Gibson. Would like to see a few more baritone options from Gibson, especially like an Epiphone Gibson. They had one and it's become popular, but it's long discontinued. So we'd like to see another 28.625 version of some Epiphone, Les Paul, or SG. That would be nice. Please, Gibson. But whatchamacallit? Give me that all black everything. Audio Freak. Yeah, I'm all black guitars. Just give me every guitar black. Here's the thing though, for me, how many of you out there like this? I don't like black hardware. It seems like a lot of people like fully blacked out stuff. I don't hate it. I don't have any hate for blacked out guitars. Not at all. But I prefer like a classic, like black guitar, chrome hardware. I don't mind that Ibanez Onyx or whatever. You know, it's like a black chrome. I don't mind that. That's okay. Don't hate it. Don't, whatever. I'm indifferent. But yeah, I like classic black guitar, maple board, you know, chrome hardware. That's my jam. That's why I made the guitar I made. Well, I didn't make it. Ugh. Can you hear that? That's how much I care about my guitars. I like when they're a little beat up, actually. But yeah, you know, this is the ultimate for me. Black guitar, black with white ply, pick guard, chrome hardware. Yeah, all day. If I could have every guitar like that, yeah, that'd be amazing. But yeah, who else is a chrome hardware fan? Like black guitars, but chrome hardware. And my reasoning for that is it's just classic. It will look good forever. If I went back in time, it'll look good. If I go forward in time, it'll look good. It'll just always look good. And it will look good on any stage in any band configuration. So there you go, that too. 13 Flaws, black chrome hardware for me. You like the Ibanez? Yeah, I don't mind it. The RG, you know, Iron Label look is a nice look. I would like, what do you call it? Maple boards though on those, or maybe not. I kind of like the RG IB6, like just ebony, you know, no markers. That's a good look. Black with gold hardware. Ranver is saying. Yeah, what is it? The Gibson, I think Gibson Custom. You know, the Gibson Les Paul. I think it's Gibson Les Paul Custom with gold hardware. I'm into that look. I could get into a 28.625 version of that and love it. And Jimbo Collins, blacker the better. That Cosmo Black is pretty classy though. Yeah, that's what it's called. Thank you, Jimbo. Jimbo, you always got it. You're always like in there for the save. The Cosmo Black, not Onyx Black, for the Ibanez black chrome look. I like that look. It's a good look. Ike is saying Gibson Epiphone only a couple of years into restructuring. Give them a little more slack to get their feet on solid ground. Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely. They had a lot of repair to do from the old Gibson when they were trying to be a lifestyle brand. They were selling, I don't know, they were more focused on selling t-shirts. That was a weird time. But Audio Freak, it's a timeless look, not gonna lie. Yeah, 100%. Damon, white is more classy. I do like white guitars. Like my second favorite is to a black guitar is a white guitar. Same thing, white guitar, chrome hardware, maple board. Although white with chrome hardware and an ebony board is a nice look, as long as the headstock is painted. My opinion, you know, and maybe, yeah, I was gonna say block inlays and bound, but like pearloid or white, you know, not dark. I don't know, maybe not. So inflatable nickel hardware, chrome number 2. Yeah, the nickel is pretty good. I often can't see much of a difference with the nickel hardware. Like I have a nickel bridge on here. And it just looks chrome. Like this is a nickel bridge. And these are chrome and this is chrome. And looks the same. I don't know. Or maybe, what do you call it? Goto is lying. Or maybe they sent me a chrome one and I ordered a nickel one. Not sure. Because from what I understand, nickel is supposed to be a little bit more dim, not as shiny, which I can hang with. The only thing about nickel, apparently, is that there's something like not good about it in terms of your skin. It comes with a warning now, but all of our strings are nickel. I think the gold looks cheap, 13 flaws. Yeah, the gold looks kind of cheap on certain models. You know, I think it depends on the whole appointments. Self-inflatable, help me out. What Les Paul is the one with gold hardware? It's the only one that looks good. And even the white version with gold hardware looks pretty good. Although I think the black one looks better. I think it's a Gibson Les Paul custom. I could be wrong. Maybe tacky is a better description. Yeah, gold hardware can be very tacky. Depends though. That's the only model I like with gold hardware. But I haven't seen every model in the world with gold hardware. So I can't, I could be talking out of my butt. Dudecraft rosewood fretboard on white guitar, gold hardware. That is your dream. You should make it. The Black Beauty Custom LP. Is that the gold hardware one? Patnus 100 is saying. That sounds, Black Beauty sounds right, actually. Apoplexia. Nickel causes allergic reactions on the skin. Jewelry knowledge. Okay, good to know. That's what's going on with it. So what's the deal with like nickel plated strings? Like guitar players are exposed to nickel more than anything. But yeah, my bridge came with a warning, like inside of it, California warning. I was like, oh, that's weird. Pretty wild. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Dudecraft, have you made your own dream guitar? Very curious. Seems to be a lot of builders. It's like shoemaker's son situation, you know? You build everybody else's dream guitar and you don't really have time to build your own dream guitar. And I think too, like you get more of a buzz out of building a lot of different things and being able to try a lot of different things. Like, yeah, what's your perspective on that, Dudecraft? Want to know what the dude thinks. Will you build your dream guitar? Will you ever have the time? Damon, yeah, the gold hardware guitar is Les Paul custom. Yeah, Black Beauty custom. Randiver says, most of our guitar gear has some warning for California, though I noticed. Yeah, I guess so, eh? California, they're like, you will die if you do anything. Canada is like that too. Rough Riffs, apoplexia. I used to be allergic to something to nickel. Then one day, I guess it just stopped when I was younger. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess you can develop out of an allergic reaction. I've heard of tales of exposure therapy for certain types of allergies where people develop, I guess, almost like antibodies to allergies. I'm not sure how allergies work because obviously I am a general practitioner and a biologist and all of those things. I should know these things. California wants you to know that everything could give you cancer. Yeah. Dudecraft says he doesn't get to decide what his dream guitar is. It's true. Yeah. The lottery, the guitar lottery, whatever comes through the door is the best guitar that day. Yeah. How are things? Is it still exciting making guitars? Like you've been so busy the last, year and a half. It's crazy. It's awesome. Damon is saying dream guitar is a Steinberger 8-string. Oh, wow. Does Steinberger do an 8-string? They're back in action. I think. Who bought them? Did Gibson buy Steinberger? I think so. Steinberger. Dudecraft guitars could make you a Steinberger clone. Maybe he can't. Maybe he's like, I don't want to make that. Let's go here. Steinberger. We're going to go top right. We got it. We've got some Steinberger instruments. Who is it? Steinberger. Gibson. Yeah, it's a Gibson brand thing. Instruments. Let's see what they got. 4-string, 4-string, 5-string. Those are all basses. Quilt Top Deluxe. Spirit by Steinberger, meaning it's an offshore made Steinberger. They used to have that multi-scale one where you would slide the capo to whatever. I think it was longer scale. It was like a baritone, but you could capo it off. It's pretty wild. And yeah, is that a lefty? It's a lefty. Wow. Very, very small looking guitar, although it's a full size 25.5. Is this one 25.5? I don't know. 25.5. Yeah. They look so tiny though when you take the headstock and minimize the body. Wild looking. Didn't Reeves Gabrels play Steinbergers? Tin Machine guy, played with Bowie, you know? Well, that was Tin Machine. Or was Tin Machine a band and then Bowie did an album with Tin Machine? Maybe that's what went on. You know, I'm not extremely well versed in these things, music culture in general. I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to that because I just like my art school sludge. I seem to be very one-dimensional in my musical interests. But yeah, we're going to get ready to, you know, get out of here. What time is it? 6:16. I hope all is well with everyone. Let's go to the chat here. Damon, yeah, Gibson bought Steinberger. Yes, rip. 13 Flaws hates the headless guitars. Yeah, they're not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not a headless guy, but I 100%. I've played them. I've played many of them. I've played the Steinbergers. I've played the what's the Swedish made ones? Ola, what's his name? Yeah. Anyway, I've played a whole bunch of headless guitars. And when you play them, especially the ergonomic ones with the, you know, crazy necks and all that kind of stuff, they feel pretty amazing. I can't really remember a Steinberger. Last Steinberger I played was 25 years ago. And yes, I am 50 years old, or almost 50 years old. So 25 years ago, I was still 25 years old. But yeah, I played a Steinberger, a legit Steinberger, a long time ago. What I remember about it is very friendly in the hands, but not something I like to look at. You know, call me shallow, that I like aesthetics. Strandberg, audio freak, thank you. Played a bunch of Strandbergs. Amazing feeling in the hands, like amazing, amazing feeling guitars. Unbelievable. I wouldn't mind like a Strandberg kind of feeling thing, but just a traditional guitar, you know. I'm not concerned with balance because I play high strap. So neck dive is not a thing for me. People complain about neck dive. Never felt neck dive in my life because I play high strap. Don't even know what neck dive is. But yeah. And whatchamacallit, 13 Flaws has got a 27-inch Variax that with a baritone setting. Oh, right. He's got the Shuriken. Yeah, we've talked about this. Yeah, the Shuriken is actually a really nice guitar. I've played it in the store. And yeah, similar, not similar to Strandbergs and all that, but like it's an advanced guitar concept. It's a real guitar. You can plug it in, play it with a regular amp, but when you plug it into a HELIX, it suddenly becomes like the future. And you can like retune the guitar digitally, kind of like a drop, but way better. It works way better. Such a wild thing. And some people are not into the looks of the Shuriken, but it is a really nice guitar, similar to a Strandberg. You might not be into the looks of a Strandberg, but when you play it, you're like, oh, this is a good guitar. And Damon likes the Steinbergers because they're small. Yeah, and that's the first thing when you play one. You're like, it seems so small, but it's a full scale guitar. It's 25.5. And yeah, it kind of messes with your head a little bit at first. And the Strandbergs are the same this way. Wild instruments. Not everybody's cup of tea, but for those of you who are into them, you get to reap the rewards. There are benefits to them that some people are too cool to get into. I'm not too cool. I'm just like so aesthetics driven. This has a strong aesthetic in a different direction than my thing. But I like millimetric guitars, which are also weird looking. You get a yo. Totally. I have an older Variax 300 standard scale length. Yeah, you can do, I think, the same retuning with the Variax 300s. I remember, what was his name? I can't remember his name. Anyway, I'm going to cut it off here because, the Reverend Descent keeps coming up. Comes up a lot. I keep forgetting to address it. Have I ever checked out the Reverend Descent? Yes, I've played it. Reverend guitars, nice guitars. Fair pricing and usually a high quality feeling guitar. High quality playing guitar. Much better than the cost. The Reverend Descent, it doesn't make it onto the channel because it's short. It's 26.75 inches in scale. A little bit longer than the 26.5 that we see with some of the Ibanez guitars and some of the Schecter guitars, but not even 27. I do the occasional 27 here. I did a 26.5, one 26.5 of an Ibanez here. They're a little too short for what I do, but if you play in B, it's a huge benefit in that you don't have to have as heavy of strings as on a 25.5. So you get a little bit more of your tone back, but and tension back. And yeah, it just plays nicer. But Reverend Descent, great for B tuning, even C, you get that high-end shimmer back to the tone a little bit more. And Dante is saying, one of my teachers at music school has a Steinberger and eventually got a full body Gibson hollow body because he got sick of people cracking jokes about how tiny it was. Yeah, it's interesting, the social pressure of a Steinberger or anything like that. Anything that is outside of convention, the social pressure for some people can be too much. We saw that also with Parker Fly guitars. The Night Fly and the Mojo Fly and all that stuff. Parker Fly, they look weird. And people are like, have a really strong opinion of them. And then they project their opinion as social pressure onto other people. And it's an interesting thing, these humans that we talk about. Jimbo Collins would love to have a Shuriken Variax. Yeah, I'd like to have a Shuriken just to, F around with the Helix stuff more. Audio Freak, do you have any guitars with true temperament? I do not. They are very expensive in my experience. I've played one. It's weird. It's strangely easier to play than you would think. When you look at it, you're like, but yeah, you can get around on it more easily than you would assume. And I'm talking about true temperament where the frets are all cut into pieces. Some of them are bent, but I've only played the one where the frets are like, there's small frets for every single string note placement. And they're more accurate than the bent fret ones. Yeah, wild guitars. 13 Flaws says, got mine for a steel, bought it from Stevik. Oh, wow. Crazy. That's wild. You live in Australia, though. So you're closer to the source. And Chris Sean says, okay, thanks. Which one was that? The Reverend Descent. Yes. Reverend Descent. Cool guitars. More guitar than you get for the money. Too short for this channel, but great for B, C, even A. Do A really nice. Not starts to make you crazy if you want good results for G. But some people do it and they don't care. That's the whole thing with this channel. do it, try it. Try it, and if it works for you, then that's the right thing, the best thing. But I'm going to shut her down here, folks. Thank you very much for hanging out for another episode. We went way over again. You seem to not make the hour clean. But I hope everyone was well. Thank you for hanging out. Once again, thank you to YouTube memberships, your YouTube members and Patreon members. They're the people who bring everything on this channel to you. And, you know, all of the Bunn links are available in the chat here, as well as in the, what do you call it? The description. And bam, there you go. But we're going to, Jimbo is saying, imagine crowning the frets on those True Temperament. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do the fret work on a True Temperament guitar. That does not sound like fun. But anyhow, I'm going to shut her down here, gang. Thank you very much for hanging out. And we'll see you in the next one. I should have a video out this week. It's been difficult to prepare. I'm trying to do something a little bit different than normal, like a produced video. But aside from the produced videos, we'll do another Baritone news next week. We'll see if we have enough news to fill an hour. I don't know. But thank you very much and have a great night.